We've got 5 burning questions for the Chicago Bears heading into their Week 11 matchup against the Detroit Lions. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. Chicago is now 3-7 on the season, and let's dive into some burning questions heading into this NFC North matchup. Number 1, will the Bears start Justin Fields? I'd be pretty surprised if they didn't, assuming he gets medically cleared, which 10 extra days seemed like he was close to play against Carolina. You 100% start him if he does get cleared to play. We still have to get more of this evaluation that we were starting to get at the start of this season. When you look at the numbers he had put up through 5 games and change, got hurt in that 6th game against Minnesota, obviously. It's been up and down. It hasn't been consistent, but I don't think just because Tyson Bagent went 2-2, you're like having some thought of, even if Fields is healthy, let's roll with Bagent. That makes no sense. Fields is still the guy out of these 2 players that gives you the best chance to become the franchise quarterback in Chicago. I thought Fields was doing some pretty good things. Didn't play great in that game. He got hurt in against Minnesota, but the 2 games before were 2 of some of the best of his career. You absolutely play him. He gives you a chance to beat Detroit. I don't think there's any scenario where Tyson Bagent goes up to Detroit and wins on the road. And bottom line, for the long-term future of this franchise, evaluating Fields is still the priority here. Hit that subscribe button. Wow. I need to go to bed here. Hit that subscribe button. I'm filming this late on Thursday Night Football because when you're watching this, I'm probably in the middle of a wedding right now. I'm running on fumes. Bears news, rumors, more coverage like this. I didn't want you guys to go a day without a video. I could have edited that out, told Rolly, hey, we're going to cut that out. We don't do that here. One take Harry. That's how we roll. Subscribe and support the movement. All right, let's talk about Bagent a little bit. I think this is a more reasonable question. Is he showing that he can be a long-term backup? I think he is. Now, he's put the ball in harm's way too much. There's no doubt about that. But for a rookie undrafted player at a Division II Shepherd College, he's shown some good things. I do think, at least for next year, he will be this team's backup quarterback. Whether they keep Justin Fields to be the starter or draft someone like Caleb Williams or Drake May, these are the 3 quarterbacks. I think it'll be one of these 3 guys slinging the rock for Chicago next year. And if it is Caleb Williams or Drake May, that means you almost certainly trade Justin Fields. You keep Tyson Bagent as your backup. I think he's shown you enough that he's worth continuing to develop, and I think he could develop into a really nice backup quarterback. Listen, in 4 starts, he's 2-2. Hasn't always been pretty. In the 2 games he won, he didn't have to do much. I think he threw for exactly 162 yards in both of those wins, weirdly enough. But he got the job done, did what he had to. Had the key 3rd down throw late to ice that game. So, yeah, I think he's got backup quality traits, cut down the turnovers, and you got something to work with. I don't think he's a starter, but I think as a potential long-term backup, that's absolutely on the table. Now, grade Tyson Bagent's play up to this point, A, B, C, D, or F. I think when you factor in that he's Division II rookie, undrafted, he's not your starter, give a solid C+, B-. I mean, it's been ugly at times. It's been pretty good at times. You went 2-2 with him. It's got to be a passing grade. When you factor in everything, I think the kid's done a nice job. But that being said, I'm ready to see Justin Fields come back in there now. All right, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks, guys. So close to hitting my Prize Picks entry for Thursday Night Football, but I'm back on the saddle. We got more picks coming up with basketball underway, the NBA and college hoops going. I'm playing Prize Picks every single night, and all you got to do is select 2 to 6 players on any given entry. If Tyson Bagent would have thrown for a few more yards, I would have cashed in 20 to win 200 here. Didn't quite get it done, but we're back on the saddle. We're making more money with other entries. You can as well pick 2 to 6 players on any given entry, college football, NBA, college hoops, whatever your favorite sports are, NHL. You can cross over sports with your picks as well. Use code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks also offers a reboot policy. If you have a player that gets hurt in the first half of a basketball or football game, they'll take that player out of your entry and you can still cash in on that. It's the only daily fantasy sports app that has injury insurance. Get going today, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use our code CLNS. All right, let's talk about the game itself. Can the Bears compete with the Lions? I'm not saying beat the Lions, compete with them. On the road, as I'm filming this late Thursday night, I would guess this point spread's probably like 9.5 or so, 10 points. I mean, maybe it's a tick less if Justin Fields, if they're projecting him to play, maybe it's like 8.5. But look, it's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. This is going to be a battle. Matt Eberflus has yet to win an NFC North game. I think if Fields plays and plays well, they have a chance. But he's going to have to play one of his better games. There's no doubt. Detroit's a complete team, really good offense with a good offensive line. They can run the football with David Montgomery, former Bear, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jared Goff's having a nice season, and their defense is solid. So I think there's a chance they can compete. My ask, get into the fourth quarter with the chance. It's what I keep saying in these big games against these tough opponents. I don't expect the Bears to beat a team like Detroit on the road right now, but you can't get embarrassed either. Like, you got to show consistent progress here, and playing Detroit close for 60 minutes, I think, would be a good example of that. If you beat them, hey, that's a big sign of progress. But let's not sprint before we can jog here. Predict the score: Bears Lions in Week 11 up in Detroit. You would think, in theory, extra days off would help, but last time the Bears had extra days off, they laid an egg against Minnesota, and Justin Fields got hurt. So what do you think? Get your score predictions in right now. All right. Are the Bears going to cut Velus Jones? I actually don't think they will, even though there's a very strong argument that they might as well. He was inactive against Carolina. You look at his career stats in 20 games played. I mean, he's been virtually a non-factor. 241 career total yards offensively, 2 touchdowns. He's had some nice kick returns, but he proved last year and in this training camp and preseason he can't be a punt returner because he muffs too many punts. He's had some drops. He's had some fumbles. I mean, his seat is scalding hot. Like, Tyler Scott has scurried past him. There's no doubt about that. And with so many kickoffs just going through the end zone for a touchback, where is Velus's value? Khalil Herbert eligible to return from IR. He did not for TNF, but could Velus be the player that gets cut potentially to make room for Herbert? Because I fully expect him to be back next week as well. So something to keep an eye on. I think Darrington Evans is probably the more likely scenario because it's the same position as Herbert, and you'd be really deep at running back. You don't really need Evans, but you're running out of reasons to keep Velus Jones. I mean, there's way more reasons to cut him than to keep him at this point if you're Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and company. Speaking of Flus, is his job safe after a win over Carolina? I think if you lost that game, especially in dramatic fashion late, firing him would at least be, among the talking points. We certainly would have talked about it on this show, but I think at this point he's going to finish this season. Now, I don't think he's the long-term answer beyond 2023. I hope we have a different voice in charge of this football team. I know Adam Johns of The Athletic recently predicted that Flus would be back next year. I mean, barring some dramatic turnaround here, that would disappoint me, but we'll see. We'll see. I do think he finishes the season, and then see what Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, whoever makes that call does this offseason. But I don't think a midseason firing is on the table. So is he safe? I mean, he's safe for now. That's how I would answer it. But long term, I still think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Will Matt Eberflus be the Bears head coach in 2024? Call your shot. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I'm going to say no, but I don't think it's a sure thing, which, again, unless there's a dramatic turnaround, I think that would be a mistake because Flus just still does not strike me as head coach material. Hit that sub button. Appreciate everybody who tuned in to our Thursday Night Football watch party. More content to come. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. Until then, bear down.